This is terrible from Chi. He's just not able to defend his forces. He's had those Dragoons just plonked there, making sure the natural doesn't get reclaimed, but he's not doing anything with it, and now it looks like there's a slide drop coming in. But anyway, if you look at Leta's first 10 games, and now the counter drop, Reaver drop, going to take down lots of SCVs, I do believe, mainly because Leta's clumped all his SCVs back in his main base, so there was just such a huge concentration, however not being able to take full advantage of it. And now with the Reaver being behind those supply depots, most of the Scarabs will be slightly stunted and a few of them will fail. And now going for the counter drop once again on that ridge, and now with a Vulture this time, so he'll be able to mine the hell out of it, so that when Chi does come back by dropping a Dragoon or something up on there, there will be mines and it will be a lot harder to retake this. So anyway, finally talking about Leta's first 10 games. Of those first 10 games against Protoss, he only won 2 of them, which is probably why he has such a bad versus Protoss percentage, because just after that, dropship goes down, Vulture left alone in the base, and after that he had a win against Cal, and then right after that he had a win against Bisu. And since that win against Bisu, he's played 17 versus Protoss, and he's only lost 4 of them. And so, you know, and it looks like this third expansion might actually go down. It looks like it might actually go down. Chi really needs to focus on taking this rather than, you know, dicking around as he has been, just letting Leta just completely take over him. Not even take over him is the wrong way to say it. You know, he's just let Leta throw him off his rhythm using vultures. You don't want your opponent to be completely shutting you down using 3 vultures at a time. It's just completely ridiculous. You know, it's just so cost effective. Anyway, so that's why I think Leta's 55% is misleading. If you sort of discount everything before that win against Bisu, which was probably a huge confidence boost for him, he's actually got much more respectable. I think I calculated earlier that it works out that he's something like 68% against Protoss if you disregard his first 10 matches, which I know isn't really fair to do, but I just thought I'd point that out. Then if you look over on the flip side, finally Dragoon Force coming in to guard this expansion. He's had that Nexus sat there for so long without really capitalizing on it. Leta's finally managed to retake his natural, and Chi really needs to basically get some more good Reaver drops in and stop his opponent from just romping him with those vultures. You know, I think a couple of cannons maybe wouldn't hurt. I mean, obviously static defense does not win you the game, but when your opponent's been in your main base this long, it's very important to you know, get at least a little bit of defense, or at least he could block off that bridge there that all these vultures keep crawling in through. What I will say is that they're nearly mined out at their mains, so therefore their naturals will become a lot more important. I think it's actually then inversely oddly in favour of Leta, because he'll has obviously mined his natural less, so he'll have more left in there. And obviously when it becomes about taking the other expansions, like that third expansion that's just been sat there idle on the part of Chi, as I said before, it's so hard to defend any expansion that's not your natural on this map, because your enemy can just come at you from so many different directions. Dragoon's laying down a little bit of shtick on those vultures. Now talking about Chi during this little using that Reaver to take down the missile turret there. Looks like Leta's doing exactly what I recommended that she should have done, which is to try and hold the bridges with some static defense. Very good play from Leta. Got another one going up now. He's just pulled back a tiny little bit, and also with those missile turrets there, he'll finally be able to know when those observers are out that have caused so many problems for him in the early game. Now we do have the third base going up for Leta, so it will be on even economy. In fact, Leta will have a superior economy because those naturals haven't really been mining for a lot of time. So, quite a few siege tanks now out from Leta. So talking about Chi, he's basically 50% in almost all of his matchups. Against Terran, it's particularly interesting that he's literally gone win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. So I think that the reason why I wanted to also cast this, other than the fact that this is my favourite map, as I said, love the 3 spawn maps, love the ice maps, already said that. Anyway, I think if Chi gets 2 wins in a row or 2 losses in a row against Terran, it will finally snap him out of this repetitive win-lose, win-lose, win-lose pattern and actually cause him to start romping. I won't reveal what his last one was, just so one, you won't know what it should be for him, just because it might spoil it. You know, I don't want to mention anything that could give away what's going. So obviously Chi did take a hugely advantageous beginning, laying down some wonderful early pressure, but now he's basically simmered off, let his opponent throw him off, you know. Oddly enough, it's interesting that I've been deciding to call him Chi, because that's exactly what Leta has been doing. He has been messing with his Chi, he has been throwing his Chi all out of whack, and thus he is not able to fully perform. And now the Vultures go in, take down some probes there, and then move into the natural again. And once again, Chi's just not able to stop it. You know, he has been winning this matchup with Vultures. With Vultures, man! You're Dragoons. You're not supposed to get pwned by Vultures. You are supposed to occasionally get dicked on by the Mind Drag. Finally, we've got some Templar Archives going off on the part of Chi. I really don't know what he's been doing other than just getting romped on by Vultures for the last 10 minutes or so. Absolutely ridiculous. Finally got the armory going down on the part of Leta. Obviously both players have sort of managed to stunt each other's growth to an extent. Now, what's going to happen for the rest of the matchup? If Chi has some good storms, gets a lot more speed lots now, we've had a Citadel for a while, because this pure Dragoon force has not been working for him at all. He needs lots of zealots basically to be able to fend off the huge amount of tanks that are about to be coming in. He does have a few there, and also he probably could do with a few more Reavers as well. Leta, on the other hand, he's in the position to begin the slow push, and the slow push is so hard to break. You know, if she does get a nice ball of maybe some, I wouldn't say Archons, obviously a couple of Archons are always nice just because they're super funsies. And now Leta going down for a drop, actually coming round the side, but I definitely think a Goon Zealot Reaver composition would definitely be able to stop the slow push of Chi, and then it will be stop the slow push of Leta, sorry, and then she will be able to take some expansions. We do have speed lots actually, so that will be a great counter, soft counter at least, to the siege tanks that are slowly massing up. And we need to see the Reaver drop again. Nice little preemptive Reaver there actually on the part of Chi. He knows that his opponent will want to lay a siege tank down on that ridge, so he's using that to his advantage and already putting a preemptive Reaver there. I don't know if maybe putting a Reaver there was the best choice. I think he probably could have just laid down a Dragoon and it would have been as good, because then obviously he could have attacked the dropship as it was coming in and then attack the siege tank as it landed, and instead go in for a counter drop with his Reaver again, because he's had a couple of reasonably successful Reaver drops. But the harassment on the part of Leta has just been absolutely unrelenting. And if you're up against unrelenting harassment, you've got to counter with some harassment of your own. You know, you can't let your player do that. You can't let your opponent get this kind of rompage down on you. So Leta retreating back with his dropship. He's done some pretty good damage with that. Looks as if now Chi's actually going to take a fourth. And that could give him the economy he needs to get his critical mass that he will need, because obviously critical mass of Protoss, generally speaking, will be the favoured party. It looks as if Leta's almost ready. Actually, there's that nice pylon wall there stopping the Vultures from heading up again, and it looks as if Chi's actually getting ready to move out, but oh my god! Look at all those siege tanks. That Dragoon Zealot force does not stand a chance. Some good storms and some scarabs could sort out that massive tanks, but I think that probably is critical mass. And quite rightly there, we got the Stargate coming up. I'd say then probably in that case, because I didn't realise quite how many tanks Leta had. Carriers are the only option here. Carriers are the only option. It looks as if Leta actually had a little missile turret there right by the doorway. So quite a few Templar, that's good. She will need that. Actually, ooh, that's a bit tasty. Actually had a little missile turret and oh my god! Oh my god, I don't know if you can hear. but the crowd absolutely loved that. The commentator loved that. Look at that snake line of tanks. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Right, this is Leta's. This is a done deal. Leta has this. He has laid down good harass. There's been some nice little battles and just constant, I'd say less back and forth and more just an unrelenting tapping against Chi. But he has no idea. He has no idea about that huge snake line of tanks there. That was ridiculous. I pity any force trying to break through that. Now pushing in, but he probably just has no idea how many tanks he's up against. Lots of mines coming in, lots of zealots going down. Shuttle there with the Reaver in it. If the Psystorm's going off, if the Reaver does get dropped, but no, the shell goes down, the Reaver does not get dropped. High Templar's going down, lots of Storms going down, tanks going off, but there's just too many tank reinforcements. The Dragoons quite rightly pull away, and he knows he can't do it. Chi knows he can't break it. He GG's. Gotta go because of time, people, but much love and good night.